Hello everyone! Welcome sa isa na namang episode ng online series ni Inang Pamantasan na kung saan ang pagkatuto ay walang hangganan. Ito ang PNU Talks. Ako nga po pala si Shirley N, Cerbo, faculty member at alumna ng Philippine Normal University, ang inyong learning from home buddy sa episode na ito. So for today, our focus will be on developing communication skills of learners with autism through drama intervention. What I will be sharing with you will be useful not only to teachers and parents of learners with autism, but to all teachers in general. The practical application of drama is not only used as therapy, but also as an important strategy in developing communication, socialization, and creative skills. Drama has always been important as regards the developments of learners. It has enhanced the learner's self-confidence, speaking, and socialization skills, among others. If drama could work wonders in the development of typically developing learners, it also has potentials to enhance specific skills of learners with special needs. I was interested to find out if drama will be effective in developing communication skills of learners with autism. Now, there are three theories that provided the foundation for the study which I conducted. All of these focus on the role that the environment plays in the learning process. For Skinner, an individual responds to anything that happens in the environment by manifesting a change in behavior. In connection, Bandura noted that by observing and imitating a person in his or her environment, a child learns. Human learning involves a great amount of socialization, according to Vygotsky. Now, for neurotypical learners, those without specific conditions that need attention, socializing with others is something natural and does not require much effort. However, for some learners, as in the case of those with autism, it is not always so. Children with autism have deficits in communication and social interaction. These, together with rigidity of thoughts and behavior, characterize the triad of impairments among this group of learners. As I earlier mentioned, one focus of my study is to find out if drama can improve communication skills of learners with autism, since their deficits in communication involve not only in verbal communication, but also in non-verbal communication that involves gestures, facial expression, body language, and posture. Likewise, it involves as well the use of their personal space. Now, baseline data gathered from my observations of the 6 learners with autism with ages ranging from 8 to 11, and from the interviews with their parents and teachers, and also from the documents that I reviewed, showed that the following were the communication skills deficits of the learner at varying degrees: a lack or very little eye contact, an inability to give appropriate verbal response, like in greetings or saying goodbye or saying thank you, registering very soft utterances that accounts to a lack of clarity in speaking, a lack of change in facial expression to manifest different emotions like happiness, sadness, anger, and others, and a lack of interest and initiative in talking with others. With all the gathered baseline information, I implemented an intervention procedure that uses creative drama. Now, creative drama is an integrative process that helps develop individuals' language and communication skill, social awareness, and self-concept enhancement through the use of movement, pantomime, improvisation, and story dramatization. Now, creative drama, as noted by many researchers, and as personally experienced by me in my many years of using the strategy among kindergarten, elementary, high school, college, and even graduate students, helps enhance self-confidence, communication skills, and creativity. And I believe creative drama can also enhance 21st century skills. Now, specifically, creative therapy helps in the development of self-expression through the use of the voice and the body. You know, one beautiful thing about creative drama is that it provides a safe space, okay? Wherein learners can do what they want at the time when they are able. Here, they are not forced to do the activities in creative drama, but rather they are guided, all right? At the start, it's possible that some of the learners might not want to enjoy or participate in the activity. They would rather just sit and observe those who are, doing the activities. But because of the fun nature of creative drama, the learners will be encouraged to participate. Of course, the teacher has to encourage them as well, so as for them to be able to join. Okay, now this is very important. Probably you're thinking, all right, so we will be involving in a lot of drama activities. So does it mean that we want our learners to become performers? Well, at the outset, why not, right? I believe that performing in front of an audience is very important for children. Why? Because every single performance that they're able to do in front of an audience will have, will develop a change in them. They will not be the same anymore. It will develop further their confidence and their belief in themselves that they will be able to do something. Okay, but take note, my dears, that the goal of creative drama is actually to help the learners to gain self-confidence, develop communication and social skills, and all of this will be done through their participation in the fun activities that start with play, the natural way by which a child learns. And people say that a child at play is a child at work. So with all of these interesting potentials that drama has, I have decided to see if the magic of drama will work among learners with autism. Creative drama offers a naturalistic intervention through the interaction between the learner with autism and his or her teacher or parents, or between the learner with autism and the neurotypical peer or classmate. The whole process involves a lot of imitation, which is one good way by which children learn. So here now are the steps involved in the use of creative drama. I will walk you through these steps as we go along. Now remember, scaffolding is essential as we go through the whole activities in creative drama. We provide support all throughout the learning process. At the start, we do not know a lot about the personality and the temperament of the children. In the case of the learners with autism that I handled, most of the 6 children were aloof at the start. Some readily gave their attention, while the others needed physical and verbal prompts. Now, as I go through these steps, I will give examples of activities to illustrate each step. I encourage you to join and participate in doing the activities. This way, you can readily, do the activity in your class. In drama, we learn by doing. All right, now, the starting point of any creative drama activity is developing the child's awareness of himself or herself, and his or her awareness of the other persons around him or her, and his or her environment as well. So, there are 5 senses, right? And for each one of the 5 senses, I created activity for the learners to take part of. For each section, activity will focus on a particular sense. All right. In my session with the children, like for example, developing the sense of touch, I presented a mystery box. All right. So I put the box in front of them on top of the table, and I asked them, what do you think is inside the box? I encouraged them to, answer the question, but apparently not a lot of them were able to give some ideas. And so I encouraged each child to come in front and to put his or her hand inside the box. Now, while a child has his or her hand inside the box, I ask questions like, what do you feel about the thing that you're holding inside the box? Is that thing hard or soft? Is it smooth? Do you like the feel of that thing? I even ask the child to guess what the thing is. But no matter, when I ask the child to show the thing, to get it and show it to the others, that thing has already become the prize as well of the child for his or her participation. Now, all of the kids were asked to do that, and I believe they really enjoyed the activity. All right. So, as the children gain or get used to imitating, and focusing on the different senses that they have, they gain, awareness of themselves. Okay. And this is very good. Why? Because awareness of the child of his or her own self is part of the learning process. Now, at this point, how about us doing an activity? This time, let's have an activity for the sense of hearing. Okay? For the sense of hearing, this is what you will do. Well, I hope that you would, close your eyes for this activity because this will help you to focus more on what you will be hearing. Oh, so let's try it. So everybody, at this point, kindly close your eyes. Now, there are a lot of things that you can hear around you. Some are loud sounds, some are soft sounds. But I want you to focus on one particular sound amidst the many sounds that you hear. Focus on one single sound. Is that sound loud or is it soft? What can you say about that sound? Is it coming from inside the room where you are or from outside? Is it a sound that you like to listen to or not? What do you feel as you listen to the sound? All right. With all of those things in your mind, I want you to open your eyes. Okay. Typically, in a creative drama session, after an activity, we proceed to the processing. Processing is very important. Why? Because in the processing, we get to hear what is in the minds and in the hearts of the learners. So I will be asking some of the participants actually to share what they heard, what sound is it, if the sound is loud or soft like a whisper, if they like the sound or not, and why. And for older participants, I even ask, what emotion does the sound make you feel? And what, okay, probably if you can think of a particular situation in the past, what is it that you remember when you hear the sound? All right, so thank you for that. All right, now, the next focus is on developing the child's imagination. Most children with autism are visual learners, so it's easier for them to remember and imitate what they see. For instance, if you give them, probably show them a picture of a plant and you tell them, okay, class, look at this plant. It's a beautiful grown plant. But class, that most plants, or a lot of plants, start from being a tiny seed. All right, a tiny seed. Now, if you want the children to see the transition from a tiny seed up to a grown-up plant, it would be good for you to show them a short video clip of this process. Now, after showing them, the video clip, probably you can tell, all right, now class, what if we are tiny seeds? All right, like look at me. I'm now a tiny seed. I'm a little seed. And slowly, through the help of the sun and the water, I'm slowly growing up, growing. I'm growing, I'm growing, and finally, I become a growing plant. And then afterwards, you can prod them to do the same. How about all of us sitting on the floor and becoming tiny seeds? And slowly, we're growing and growing and growing. Okay? Because the children have seen the video, they can verily visualize what's happening. And all of them can follow the movement, the miming that the teacher will be doing. Okay. Now, after that, How about us again having an application of this? This time, let's have an activity called the imaginary ball. All right, my dears. I want you to put your palm in front of you. Okay? I want you to imagine. Remember, our focus here is imagination and pantomime. I want you to imagine that there is a tiny, tiny ball in your palm. Okay? Try to touch the tiny ball. The tiny ball has grown bigger. Okay? Touch it. Oh, it has grown bigger, the size of a tennis ball. All right, touch it. You can even play with it. Play with a ball. Touch it. Oh, it has grown bigger and bigger. Now it is the size. Move it around. Look at it. What's the color of the ball? Touch it. Feel it. Is it hard or soft? What is it made of? Is it made of plastic or is it made of what, rubber? Try if it can bounce. Does it bounce? Oh, all right. It's grown smaller. It has become smaller and smaller. Play with it. Play with it. Small ball. Oops, again, it has become smaller and smaller. And the imaginary ball is gone. Okay, as the children get used to imitating and setting their imaginations at work, the next focus will be on doing movements and producing sound. So take note of this. This is very important. We never put activities together all at once. At first, we want them to be aware of their body, to make use of their body in miming, in doing action. And now that they're ready, we can already initiate the sound. Remember though, that the indication to move from one step to another is the readiness of the child and the readiness of the children in general. As we transition to using the body to produce sound, as we do actions or movements, we can start with common sights and sounds. All right, what I did with the children first was I showed them pictures of different animals. For example, a picture of a cat. I showed it to them, and then I asked them, okay, children, what can you see in this picture? They say, cat, cat. Oh, right, it's a cat. So what sound does the cat produce? Okay, and then they say, teacher, meow, meow. All right, depending on the orientation of the child, meow or mew. Okay, good. Now, how does the cat move? You know what? One child readily, dropped on the floor and on four limbs started walking and mewing around. And so I told the class, come on, let's join him. All of us now are cats. And all of us, with four limbs, we started moving around the room, mewing. Okay, like cats. I showed them other pictures of animals and did the same as well. Okay, so at this point, of course, we should have our application, okay, wherein we can participate, all right? So I'm sure everyone has seen waves of the ocean or probably of the sea now rushing to the shore. Sometimes it could be fast, sometimes it could be gentle or calm, okay? Now, one thing I really love about creative drama is the fact that in creative drama, we can be anything. We can be animals, we can be things, we can be a glass, we can be plants, we can even be waves of the ocean. Okay, what sound do the waves of the ocean produce? Do they shh? right? Okay, how about us trying our bodies, like our arms and our hands, in doing some actions or miming the action or the movement of the waves and accompanying it with sounds. It depends upon you, whatever. It could be moving like shh, shh, or it could be shh, or it could be shh, shh. It depends upon you, but that's great. Okay? All right. Now, in this part, to culminate this activity, I asked the children to form a line and put their hands on top of the shoulder of the person in front of them. And then all of us move in one line all throughout the room as we produce the sound. Yes, you're right. We have become trained, choo-choo trained. And we all had, fun in doing it. Now, in my long years of teaching, one concern I have, one problem that I have actually is, it's that a lot of children lack volume when they're speaking, and this affects the clarity of their utterances. So for the next step, we have breathing exercises. To enable you to apply this to your class, how about us doing it? Please remember that the secret to achieving a loud voice is by doing diaphragmatic breathing. Okay, the diaphragm is a set of muscle, it's a muscle that helps us to inhale and exhale. It's located below our rib cage. Okay, so if this is our rib cage, the last part, or it's there below it. Okay, I want you to put your palms on your diaphragm. All right. I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale, exhale. Let's do it again. This time, you inhale through the nose and you release the air through the mouth. So open your mouth as you release the air. Inhale, exhale. Again, inhale, exhale. Very well. This time, we inhale, and as we exhale, let's say, ha. Open the mouth wider. Ready? Inhale, ha. Now let's do it 3 counts. Go. Inhale, ha, ha, ha. Very well. All right. Do it again. Inhale, ha, ha, ha. Now, how about doing it with the head? All right. Ready? Inhale, he, he, he. Very well. You can continue on using the next sound, ho, and then the he, then the ho, and the who. Now remember, if you are using your diaphragm well, you're doing diaphragmatic breathing, when you release the air, you will notice slight movement, okay? When you take in breath or when you inhale, you will notice that the diaphragm becomes bigger. When you release the air, as you exhale, the diaphragm will become smaller, okay? Because the air is released. So remember that. It is very important, okay? Now, remember as well that we have to remind our children all the time to speak louder. And so there are other activities that I have thought of so as to enable them to talk. You remember, at this point, we're already developing, their speaking skill. We started off with just, miming, doing our, working with our body, and then using the imagination, and then producing the sound. And now we're actually going to use words. And so at this point, I did an activity, and I show them activities or everyday activities like brushing my teeth. I started miming the brushing of my teeth, and then I asked them, what am I doing? And then something, brushing your teeth. And I say, yes, I'm brushing my teeth. All right, what am I doing again, class? Say, you are brushing your teeth. Again, what am I doing, class? And all of them said, you are brushing your teeth. Very good. I showed them other actions like combing my hair, walking, and a lot of, common things that we do. Then afterwards, I ask them one at a time to come in front, and then I give each one a particular action that I want them to show, and then they have to ask their classmates, what am I doing as they're doing the action? And the next one who will answer it will be, or the person who will answer it will be the next to come in front and do a particular action. So we have to remember it's important for us to encourage them to speak, and not just to speak, but to speak louder. And so when I noticed that, and this was very, very common that time, if they're talking or saying something and they're not doing it with a loud voice, I always tell them, I cannot hear you. Please speak louder. Okay? And that was helpful. That was helpful to enable them to speak louder. All right. So one thing as well about children with autism is the reality that some of them, or most of them, do not show their emotion on their faces. Most of the time, even if they're happy, they have the same facial expression. Blank, usually, even if they're sad. And so we had activities on this to help them develop, showing appropriate facial expression. So what I did was I showed them pictures that show different facial expression. For instance, I showed them pictures of like this, birthday. All right, so I told them, okay, what can you see in this picture? Oh, there's a birthday party, right? They have read it, happy third birthday party. But look at the girl, the little girl who has her birthday party. Is she happy? Yeah, she's happy. Yes, she's happy because she's smiling. Now look at this other picture. Look at the young man. It's also his birthday. How did you know it's his birthday? Yes, there's a cake. And look at his face. Does he look happy? Yes, he does. How did you know that? He's also smiling. So show me your beautiful smile if you're happy. Come on. Now, I also told them, class, every time I see you, I feel happy. And that's why I smile. Every time I see you, I smile. Are you happy when you see me? Now show me if you're happy by smiling. Then I go and look at them one by one and encourage them to show the beautiful smile. All right. I also showed other pictures. I showed other emotion like sadness, anger, and other emotions. Okay. As the learners gain mastery of their voice and of the use of their body, I started with storytelling. One of the stories we focused on is The Little Red Hen, which is interesting because it has a lot of repeated lines. I told the story as I showed them pictures, and then I asked questions to ascertain their understanding of the story. Then afterwards, I assigned them to read the lines of the characters. And so each child played the role or read the lines of the characters in The Little Red Hen. For instance, one of the boys was assigned to play the role of the dog. And so we started reading the lines of the dog. Then I asked him, what sound does the dog produce? And then he said, it's bow wow wow. Okay. And then I told him, before you read your line, I want you to produce the sound of the dog first. And that's what he did. Likewise, the other children also produce the sound of the particular animal they're assigned to role play before they read their particular lines. Now, we also have discussion on another story. Actually, it's a fable from Aesop, and it is the wind and the sun. Again, I showed pictures to the learners as I told the story. And then afterwards, we focused on the powers of the wind and the sun. So I asked the children, what do you think could be an action that will show that the wind is powerful to remove the coat of the boy in the story? And then one of the children said, the wind blows, and it started blowing. And I said, yes, that's right. But how can we show that the wind is big and powerful? And so I suggested that we can use our hands and as we blow. And that's what all the children did. Okay? And aside from that, I told them, you have to really say that you're powerful. All right. And so the children started saying, I am powerful. And they started doing the action of the wind. Then I asked, how about the sun? How can the sun show that it's also powerful? So one of the boys said that we can show this by using our hands like this. I say that's also good, but how about making it bigger? And probably to show how powerful the sun could be, we could make big movements of our hands. And the children started doing. Now, these actions actually that they're doing, together with phrases or words like I am powerful, as they do the action, these are part of the improvisation. Now, in improvisation, they do actions based on what they feel, based on their understanding, and they also say words. Sometimes the words are not directly what are in the text, but this could be words that they say based on how they understand the character. All right. So for 3 days, we practice the delivery of the lines and the action of the children for the 2 stories. I told them that their parents and their teachers will be coming to watch the performance. As you know, children with autism are very particular with routine. Anything that disrupts the routine could cause a meltdown among them. And so as to make them ready to face visitors for their performance, I put chairs in front and told them that their parents and their teachers will be sitting on those chairs so that they will be ready when they see their parents come for their performance. And so the parents came during the closing program, and the children were able to present the 2 stories, improvisation of the 2 stories, the Little Red Hen and the Wind and the Sun. We did it very well. Now, for learners with autism to be able to perform in front of an audience that includes their parents and their teachers without crying, without having a meltdown, or without running away in the middle of a performance, it's already a feat. They were able to do it because they have already mastered the use of their voice and of their body, and thus they developed the confidence and they were able to perform. At the end of the 21 sessions of the use of creative drama, the teachers and the parents of the learners were again asked to gauge the communication skills of their children through the instruments that were similar, but not entirely the same as the instrument they used before the implementation of the drama activities. Findings from these, from the interviews conducted, and the observations made during and after the implementation of the drama activities, yielded the following findings. It could be noted that there were marked improvements in the communication skills of the learners. There was a big improvement in their showing of appropriate facial expressions, which includes manifesting real smiles on their faces. There was also a marked improvement in their ability to give appropriate verbal responses. This involves automatic reading and saying thank you. There was also improvement in the use of eye contact. A little improvement was noted on the loudness and clarity of verbal utterances and on their initiative to talk with others. I believe that with more experiences on the use of creative drama, they will further improve their communication skills. Now, it is a fact that learners learn at different pace. Some learners learn fast. Some learners take more time before they're able to learn. But we have to remember that all learners are capable of learning. The study has proven what Temple Grandin, a highly respected professor, lecturer, writer, and a remarkable person with autism, said. The children with autism are different, but not less. My dear educators and learning advocates, I am happy to say that creative drama worked wonders to the learners with autism. I am sure creative drama could work wonders to your group of learners. Thank you so much for watching. Marami pong salamat sa inyong pagsama. Again, this is Shirley N, Cerbo, and this has been PNU Talks.